All right, guys, let's connect today, June 8th, 2025, coming at you for a live stream for the next hour. Thank you guys for taking the time to be here, talk about The Walking Dead, Dead City. I guess The Last of Us a little bit. I watched The Accountant 2 yesterday on Amazon Prime. We'll talk about that. Any other shows, movies, stuff you're interested in. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about The Walking Dead universe. I guess the news is that it's been going around. Again, we'll talk about the spoilers that aren't true, obviously, that I talked about last live stream. But I'm just sharing the information. They're not from me. I found them online, and so I share it with you once I see something there. And it's not what it once was, especially for the spoilers of The Walking Dead universe, and that's okay. It's not going to be what it was because the heyday of The Walking Dead is definitely over, and all good things must change. All good things must come to an end, you know? So thank you guys for taking the time to be here for the next hour. If you're here for 5 minutes, 5 seconds, the whole time, whatever you need. But I got my proof of Fight for Us 2. Catalyst is the name. So the synopsis on the back says, Fight for Us 2 Catalyst is the start of a new adventure for Ryan, his family, and his friends. Several years have gone by since Fight for Us the end. Life has been good for Ryan and his family, but new problems will arise for everyone. With the help from his friends and family, Ryan should be able to handle these new problems, or so he thinks. People from Ryan's past show up unexpectedly, but can he trust them while allies from Ryan's new life have gone missing? Find out some answers while asking new questions in Fight for Us 2 Catalyst. So that's just my proof. So I had to adjust the cover a little bit and change some stuff. And so, you know, that's my baby. That'll be out this month, June, for sure. I have more, I think I'm on chapter 13 or so for the edit. And yeah, all good things. Got to take my time, and I've learned that. And that's the big thing about life is keep learning, keep challenging yourself and trying new things, but learn stuff along the way. Thank you, Tim, Negan One, A Big Tree, and everybody else joining as we speak. So, Dead City, Season 2, I think Episode 6 is out now on AMC Plus. And let's talk about the spoilers that did not come true, because some stuff that happened last episode, that's not how it said. And it sounded like a lot of stuff is, you know, just fictional, based on the trailer, based on stuff, based on whatever, you know. And I love how they're like, yeah, there was a extra that was filmed in season 7 and season 8, and say this person's going to show up, and this was shot, and this was there. And a lot of those times it's been fake in the past with the Walking Dead universe, and that's okay. So it's not going to be true when Maggie kills the Dama, because if you know last episode, what happened to the Dama, and it'll be just showed in this week's episode. I doubt. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Negan's family, if we actually see his wife and son. How could they make it to New York? I don't know. If they're on a train in the middle of nowhere, how could the Dama reach that far? Like, there's a lot of stupid things in Dead City that are like, I mean, I like the dynamic of the gangs and the factions and the groups and the people, and I still don't get how the Dama has power. Like, who cares? This person is an actress or involved with theater and just nonsense with that. Like, she has no power. What is her power? I don't know, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, please let me know your thoughts in the chat or the, comments. Why is the Dama anything? Well, anymore, she's not. So it's not a thing. So I haven't seen today's episode, that's for sure, Tim. I was going to watch it before, but I got, a chance to watch it right before here, so I was like, I'll just wait. And it's not a big deal. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't make any sense, like what happens here and the New Babylon Marshals and this and the way it ended. But influence of what? What is Dama influencing? In the zombie apocalypse, it's about numbers. It's about strength in numbers. It's about power with weapons and just, I guess, lawlessness. And you can do whatever you want. And so what is she doing in this? We need these groups to come together to fight New Babylon Marshals. Well, they have to come to you. So if you kind of set up, yeah, exactly. Tim says the drama turned out like the Pope amount to nothing. Yeah, like this is not just the Dead City, but Walking Dead in the general. It's like they build it up, and then, like, I don't know. But it is what it is. The story, this is what happens when you talk and when you write stuff outside the source material. When you're talking about stuff outside the source material, it doesn't work because the source material is the main focal point with the main characters. And when you're dealing with stuff outside the realm of the main show, the main story, the main focal point, it's just not going to be that good. Negan is by far the best part of the show still. The stuff with Navarez or whatever her name is or whatever, but she got tore up and bit, which was good, which was annoying, right? Like, so they just, like, it's so funny how this New Babylon people is like, you're a traitor. That's treason. That's the okay, great. Because you have guns, obviously people have to listen to you. But it's just like, you want to come in here and we need your help to join us or you're a traitor. That's treason. That's this. You don't help us, you're with us, you're against us. All right. But they're kind of like, it's just not a crazy, like the Saviors at least were a bunch of people, a bunch of numbers, a bunch of just terrible people that were doing a lot of crazy things. And I don't know, it's just dumb when they hanged that lady and they were all like moaning and doing their tribal thing and whatever. So it's just like, okay, we have the ability of that and we understand there. And they come in, the walkers, like there's this little gate that is there to like stop anything. You're telling me you can't reinforce any of that or block it better? But I guess they didn't care because she was willing to sacrifice herself or let it happen they're all going to end up there anyway. So you're delaying the inevitable, which is all right. But yeah, so Tim says, won't spoil it, but I will say today has some foolish scenes. And that's like, it's a foolish series. The only two series that have really worked is The Ones Who Live, because it was Rick and Michonne, and it was only one season, and The Daryl Show. Fear the Walking Dead had a bunch of nonsense. World Beyond had a bunch of nonsense. And this Dead City has a bunch of nonsense. So The Walking Dead is turning into a bunch of nonsense, which is not good. I don't want to see a bunch of nonsense to water down a great, just potential universe of The Walking Dead, because you can expand on so many things too, and with Christoph being a nice guy, and I don't know how the Croats was able to walk in and kill all them and it was just like, Bruegel and now Maggie joining Bruegel and doing this and it's just all right, yeah. But again, New Babylon is focusing on the methane and the power and the whatever. Okay, I get it. And that's a powerful thing, so I could buy into that a little bit. And it is a nice thing to be able to break stuff down and resume electricity and everything. But I feel like there'd be other ways, like you're relying on walkers to power stuff. That's a nice little thing in theory, but there's got to be something to come back there. Who cares if 6th Avenue was illuminated and Radio City Music Hall was illuminated and the signs were illuminated? That's foolish. Like, who cares about a sign being powered? We need machinery to work. We need stuff to work. We need fabrication. We need, infrastructure. We need stuff to get back to society and everything there too, and food and I just the amount of walkers and everything. I mean, it is what it is. It's just kind of getting ridiculous. And I didn't see today's episode, but I know the bear is in it, like a giant bear, right? So it feels more and more like Z Nation, Sci-Fi Channel, just nothing. Just like nothing, nonsense, stupid stuff, like zombie shows, what they were before The Walking Dead. We're going back to that nonsense. And I really don't know where it's going to go after here, and it's just kind of what it is. But do you guys agree? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I mean, there's some people, like, when The Walking Dead was in its heyday, and Walking Dead had some stupid moments or whatever, you know, starting in season 7, and a lot of people doing dumb things over and over and over and over again, and it just doesn't work out. But people will defend The Walking Dead for eternity, and some people will hate The Walking Dead for eternity, and everybody else makes up their mind for what it is. But my wife and I watched The Accountant 2 last night, and definitely want to watch The Accountant 1 before you watch Accountant 2 to understand kind of what's going on a little bit. Is a pretty decent movie. I mean, it's nothing that great. Ben Affleck does a good job. Jon Bernthal does a good job. So Jon Bernthal is Shane of The Walking Dead, and there's another alum in The Walking Dead universe that's got a very small part in this show. If you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. But it's okay. It's definitely worth checking out if you have Amazon Prime. Definitely watch The Accountant 2. If you haven't, seen The Accountant 1, watch that first. And I like the idea of having. I don't know exactly what Ben Affleck has in it. If it's autism and certain something developmental. Something, some sort of disorder, but he uses it to his strengths, right? So, like, not everything has to be, we don't have to be the same way, and it's great. We have to see what we have, go from there, and move on with our lives, and have our strengths, minimize our weaknesses, and sometimes it's how it is, but Jon Bernthal's in there, and he does a good job, and I like that. And the story's okay. It's action-packed, and a lot of good stuff goes on in the movie, and there's some funny moments and some things that just work, and some things, there's minimal things that don't work, but it's worth checking out for sure. What else? Anything else? Not really watching. We're still watching The Osbournes, which is pretty funny. Jeff Wallace says, sick of Maggie's kid. So Herschel's still annoying. It's kind of like young Carl, right? And it's all the things that are coming wrong with The Walking Dead put into a show that is a spinoff. Like Fear the Walking Dead. It was like, let's have a dysfunctional family about people we don't care about with annoying kids and just nonsense. And then when we start to like these characters, they kill them off. And then then there's a reboot, and then there's that. And so Dead City should ultimately always be in the city, obviously, right? Because it's going to be New York City. And what's the end game of this show? I don't know. Is it going to be rewarding? Is it not? Negan being part of the show is essential. Maggie is just, every episode, it's just annoying. We knew she wasn't going to die from the hanging. We knew that was going to happen. But I thought she wouldn't even be the Ginny saved her, putting this stuff under her feet. And we knew she couldn't die, but I thought it was interesting because of the connection with Gregory and Hilltop. But Maggie has plot armor, Negan has plot armor, and everybody else is expendable. I mean, Herschel's got some plot armor too. And then I guess we find out who killed the rat. Was it, the Dama's rat? I mean, it doesn't really matter if it was Negan or the Croat or somebody else or whatever. I don't really care. Bruegel snuck in there and did it. I mean, it doesn't matter. But there could be better writing. There could be better storytelling. But I just think it's bare bones, basic Walking Dead. It's all the nonsense of the zombie apocalypse genre put into a show. And Negan is a charismatic, interesting character, but it's going to be time and time again. Yes, we know he killed Glenn. Yes, we know that, Herschel doesn't like him. Ginny wants to kill him. Yes, we know that Maggie is trying to work with him for some reason. They're trying to work together. And it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's an interesting enough show to still watch. But that being said, I would even watch, like, Black Summer on Netflix, that terrible zombie show, and watch certain things just because it's like watching something different. And there's enough entertainment shows and spin-offs and different stuff to check on. It's interesting enough to see. And I want to see how it's like a bad movie that you have to finish, or a bad book that you just have to see how it ends. There's something to that where we have to see how stuff finishes. And not all, if it's bad enough, Like, I don't even care. Like, there are certain shows that I gave up on and certain things I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't care about that one. So whatever happens with these people, whatever. But I do kind of care about to see what happens with Negan. I mean, Maggie's an OG from season 2, so she's one of the original characters that are left in the show, in the series, in the spinoffs, in the universe. But I really hope if they're going to continue with this show, there has to be some sort of unification that is going to draw us in and connects the dots with the bigger picture that is the Walking Dead universe. Like, we all know that the people that are just for the show, New Babylon people, the Dama, the Croat, whatever, they're expendable. The Croat dying doesn't really make sense because what takes over with the methane, and that's the ultimate power thing with that, and it was, and the Croat's fine. It's just they're forcing a lot of stuff on us with Negan's past. And ultimately, Maggie should be like, Maggie being in the city for so long and whatever she's doing in the bricks, no one's going to check on her. No one's going to see how she's doing. The Commonwealth or the Civic Republic, no one cares about it. Maybe that's where it ends up. I don't know. Like, what could happen? What do you guys think? What should happen in the remaining episodes of this season, and if we get a season 3? I don't know, because the word is that we're going to get a season 4 of Daryl's show that should start filming soon. I haven't seen Ballerina, and I don't know if I'm going to watch that. Because, I mean, I like the John Wick stuff, but the John Wick stuff is getting watered down too. When you prolong parts of the universe and extend stuff of the universe, it's just too much. It's just too... It stretches it out too much. It has to get watered down because there's only so much of the good stuff that's there, and I just don't... I don't know. Yeah, so, yeah, I guess you're right. Negan was scraping off the stuff, so, yeah. So, because we watched the episode yesterday or whatever, and, yeah, so Negan killed the rat. All right. Great. And the Dama has fallen, and where do we go from here? There's no one in the New Babylon that we should really root for or care about besides Armstrong. And why would you bother, coming after the city for the methane? Like, the methane is that important? Like, you can't get... There's no other way to power anything besides the methane. There's no possible other way to think about logically how to... I don't know. I mean, I guess I know it's been so many years, but I don't know. There's got to be some extra story to it. The world survived many years without electricity, without certain things there. And so people got to get back to the books and start figuring out how to rebuild society and doing all that without Walker methane gas. So Nico says, hypothetical ZA, do you think there would be that many bad people out there or groups coming together to help each other? Good question, Negan 1. I would think that the bad things would happen more than the good would happen. It depends on... Well, because, like, there's a whole thing, especially with social media. Like, how people are, and you see it on YouTube and everywhere, that people just can say and do whatever they want when there's out consequences in a digital format. It's different when people do that in real life, when actually seeing someone face to face. Like, hopefully you think there's ethics and morals and how it's wrong to actually hurt another human being. It's different when you see someone there too. But I don't know, that's a good question. I mean, I guess it depends on who remains in the world, because there's going to be people that want to help others. There's going to be people that want to take over. And there's going to be people there's always going to be a power battle of power. The power struggle is going to be something for eternity. It's been that way forever. This one does this, and they want this, and someone's wrong here, and that's what it's always been. I think will always be people trying to push their agenda on others to make them seem right and powerful. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, the way it's going, just look at today without a zombie apocalypse. People are just looking to get over on people, and they don't care. Me first situation. Like when during COVID, people were freaking out because of not having supplies and everything. And so I think that's how people would be, me first and there, until the world settled down. I just think people would be thinking about themselves. So I think they'd be willing to hurt other people to maintain their own safety and lifestyle. So Fred Davis says, Gimple said we could be getting 7 seasons of the Daryl Show. Talking about stretching that out. Man, what are they going to be talking about and doing for 7 seasons? Like, it's just crazy to be getting that many seasons of anything. And Daryl and Carol are far better than Negan and Maggie. So it's like right up there with Michonne and Rick. Daryl and Carol can carry their own stuff. But it's just like, I wonder how many people still watch these spinoffs. You know, I don't think we're going to be getting anywhere near to the heyday of The Walking Dead. Because again, AMC Plus, you got to have stuff that's on there. And I just saw a thing on Facebook that Neighborhood Watch, I believe it's called, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid, is an AMC Plus exclusive movie. So we're going to be getting more and more stuff like that, I would assume, down the road. Because I don't know how many people are watching movies, and I don't know. People want to ultimately always go to the movie theaters. They want to go have an experience out on a date night or whatever, and go here, go there, you know, dinner and a movie kind of thing. But if the movies aren't worth watching, like I didn't see The Accountant 2 in the movie theater. I watched it on my house, but I don't know when it came out in the movie theater, maybe a month or so ago. And then a movie comes out, does whatever it does in the movie theaters, and then it goes on streaming. So I would assume most people just want to wait. Like, I really have no idea how Fantastic Four is going to do, and Superman, and any other movies that are coming out. Like, Mission Impossible is, you know, arguably a huge series universe with a huge movie star, probably like the last great movie star when you think about it, Tom Cruise. Like, I mean, there's people like Denzel and Brad Pitt and George Clooney and Tom Hanks and all that for sure. But action sequences, action-packed stuff, it's got to be like Tom Cruise has to be up there, right? And I think Lilo and Stitch is actually beating that. So I don't know if that's going to end up being what it is. Like, certain movies do well, certain ones don't. Like, I know James Cameron is doing Avatar 3 and 4 and whatever, however movies that is. And I didn't even see the second one. The first one's okay. Like, I don't even care about it that much. But those are the movies, type of things that are being shot and filmed for movie theaters. And yes, our TVs are getting better and 4K and all these great things. And it's just tough. I mean, the economy's hopefully bouncing back, and it's going to be doing all right. But I don't know how many people have the money to go see a movie. And if you have 5-6 people as a family to go see a movie, that's crazy. I have no idea how people go to the amusement parks in Disney World with a family of 5, 6, 10 people. It's just, I have no idea how they do it because it's so expensive. Jack asks, do you think the Walking Dead universe is getting stale? I heard they might be at least 6 seasons of Daryl Dixon. So I heard 6, I heard 7, I heard this, I heard that. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm probably watch the Daryl Show for as many seasons as it is, but it's been stale. Since the main show, I mean, it's some people even say that the Walking Dead universe got stale in season 7. Definitely when Rick went away. Definitely when Michonne went away. Like, it's hard to say exactly when it took its turn, but it's been like when Fear the Walking Dead was a focal point, and the main show ended, and World Beyond was like, all right. And then Tales of the Walking Dead was okay, and Daryl Dixon was something different. But it's a shell of what it once was, you know? Jeff Wallace asks, do you think the theater movie coming 28 years later is going to be good? I don't know. Like, I like 28 days later, 28, weeks later, and 28 years. It was 28 months later or something. 28 days, 28 months, 28 years. And it's okay. Like, I mean, the second one was okay. But it's always like the zombie stuff. Because I've seen the trailer now, and I was watching it a little bit more in detail. And the water and this to keep the zombies away and everything. And it's all right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, are we getting zombie fatigue? Because it was already such a niche market, niche story, niche stuff that's there, that's got its little niche stuff, that the focal point of it, it's like, it's not a rom-com, it's not a comedy, it's not something, action stuff like that. It's kind of all those things. But ultimately, it's its own little science fiction area that has its little stuff. And then, like, what kind of got me last week's episode of The Walking Dead is that the zombies, are so many of them, by the way, and they kind of don't do the same rules in anything that makes sense. Like the guy standing out of the store when the Croat is getting his suit, and he's smoking a cigarette, and this walker just comes right down the road and goes all the way down. Doesn't go towards him at all. He looks to the way, and then he's killed, and the axe goes like in his collarbone between his shoulder and his neck kind of thing. And he doesn't scream by any means, and he's like, ah! And then he's killed by the group that goes and cuts the power. And then the Croat is trying on his trying on his suit and getting his tie. And then he looks out the window, and then the walker comes, the same walker, and hits the glass. Like, why would he be attracted to the Croat who's inside the glass, not really making noise? But it's just like, what? It doesn't make sense. Jack, do you think Stranger Things will be decent? I hope so. I hope it's amazing because it's the finale. It's the ending. So we're supposed to get like 4 episodes on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, 3 episodes on Christmas, I think, and then 1 episode on New Year's Eve. And the last episode is supposed to be like 2 hours. And so it's like a movie. So I like how they're breaking it up because somebody would watch all those things, spoil it for everybody, and they don't care. Which you have to kind of break it up, Netflix. Break up the story a little bit, especially the finales. Because people love to sit there and watch 8 hours of something, binge it all, and ruin it for everybody. Which is really annoying. So yeah, I hope it's amazing. I hope Stranger Things is a rewarding finale, but it's tough to wrap things up. It's really tough. You have to have a beginning, middle, and end. And The Walking Dead kind of had that. It's not bad, but it kind of is what it is. And they had to change and adapt because the show is the show, the comic is the comic, characters left, things changed, and whatever, but it's still going, right? Like it's crazy, right? So think about it. It's like Stranger Things ending at the end of this year, and then they're like, we're going to continue on with another show in some way that's not really the same, but kind of connected. You're like, people will probably watch it, and it's, I don't know. The ultimate thing I'm seeing, it's been this way for a long time, is that shows, movies, companies, whatever, production stuff, they want you to watch and keep watching and keep going and buy the shirts and buy the packages and buy the streaming stuff and do everything that way too. And it's tough to have a rewarding, epic universe connection story. But the people who did it, like we were watching a little bit of Endgame yesterday. I think it was on TNT or whatever. And I'll always watch Infinity War and Endgame. I'll always watch Winter Soldier. I'll always watch Captain America Civil War. I'll always watch certain Marvel movies. And then there will be ones that I will never watch. Like there's certain, like the first Captain America. Terrible. I'm not going to watch that. The first 2 Thor movies. I will not watch that. I will watch the third one though. I'll watch some of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I'll watch some of that. Like, it's definitely something that's worth watching. And that's a huge epic universe. Like, I'm never going to watch Fear the Walking Dead ever again because it's pointless. I don't know if I'd even watch Walking Dead again anymore because it got to the point, it finished it. And if I do, it would be the early Walking Dead. It would probably be the first 6 seasons. After that, I probably really wouldn't watch anymore because it kind of peaked there. But I'll always watch Sopranos. I'll always watch there's certain things that are the best of all times in my opinion. Breaking Bad, Sopranos. There's a lot of shows that are getting better and better. And I think TV is getting better and better and better, especially like the value they're putting on like Taylor Sheridan's universe of shows, which Mayor of Kingstown just finished season 4, I believe, filming is what Jeremy Rayner said on Instagram. So excited for that to come back hopefully later this year. I know Tulsa King season 3 and like that's what draws me in. Is like kind of like that stuff, like the Taylor Sheridan universe, those shows, the different things that come from that. And I think it's a pretty cool way of doing it. Investing your time. Like I pretty much given up on Star Wars. I don't really watch much of that anymore besides The Mandalorian. I don't watch Andor. The Acolyte, I didn't even finish that. But I'll watch the Mandalorian movie whenever that comes out. So, Tim says Tulsa and Land Man will be coming. So, like I said, Tulsa King season 3, Land Man season 2. And it's just like awesome. Like it's just the stuff they're watching over and over again. Like we have to finish up Billions, have to finish up certain stuff. And I like movies too, but the TV shows that draw you, like The Walking Dead, drew us in. Where was it going? And it was so fresh and exciting and new until it wasn't. Until they went too far. They went off the deep end. And like Dead City, maybe I'm the outlier, maybe I'm different than everybody else, but I'm like, I don't even care to watch it every Sunday or Monday. But The Last of Us, I was excited to watch because I wanted to see what was going to happen, if they were going to change anything, which they didn't. They added some stuff a little bit with Eugene and certain characters, and they just changed small things, nothing that big. But yeah, I mean, everybody wants a deal. Everybody wants a thing. So Tim says up here, food, popcorn, candy, drinks cost twice the amount of the movie ticket. Exactly. So, I mean, that's where they make the most money, actually, is the concessions. And I get it. You got to make money. But give some deals. Like, I don't know if they have $5 movie days or $6 movie days, Tuesday or Wednesday or something. But that's the only way I would probably watch a movie when I get older, because I'm be on fixed income. And you got to pick and choose. By that time, everybody think I'd want to watch would hopefully be on a streaming service anyway. So I'll pay the 29, probably that by that time streaming services will be like $40 a month. I'll pay the $40 a month and watch all this stuff that I missed in the movie theater too. So yeah. Tim says, what's happening with The Boys, Bri? So like The Boys show on Amazon? What boys we talking about? The Cowboys? Or what? Because I know Gen V is coming out. I forget when it was, August or September, and I know they're taking their time with The Boys show on Amazon because they want to. It's a final season for that too. So The Boys, yeah, I know it's the final season of that, and they're taking their time with it. And so it'll be out probably, I would guess, I don't know. There's been nothing that I've seen. I just know that Gen V is the next part of that's coming out, which was pretty good. I like the connections with that too, because The Boys is its own thing. Gen V is its own thing, but connected. When you see Homelander show up and you see stuff happening, it's like, right? Why can't the other shows kind of do that? Like it was worked with Dead City when Simon showed up. The Daryl Show, we're not going to get any big connections that way, or will we? Carol showed up, but it was always supposed to be the Daryl and Carol show. That's not a cameo. They're just connected on the show. Jeff, PT Bry, you're so close to 100K to get that silver. We all need to share more. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get that. That was always a goal of mine. And probably if I started a year earlier on YouTube, or even a couple months earlier, I probably would have got it. But yeah, YouTube is sit there. But I would appreciate it if you could. I mean, tell your friends, tell your family to support us and just subscribe. That'd be awesome. That would be a good goal, and I like that goal. But I've also learned that I can only do what I can do, and I can only post many videos and share as much as I can. But eventually, because I know for guys, you might have missed it, but Fight for Us Catalyst. Fight for Us 2 Catalyst will be out this month, and so I'm wrapping this up. And once that is, I'll take a little breather on there and try to get it excited. Wire, I think. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, the wire kind of connected on my USB, so it should be back now. But yeah, I think I hit the wire when I was hitting the book. I hit the USB wire, so it should be back. Let me know when it's back for you guys. But I see it on the display. But so yeah, what I was saying is the Dama. You're not that much of a big character and an adversary when you're defeated by a clothing rack, which shouldn't be that heavy, by the way, and you're burned alive, which is terrible. But I just know that it's something that it's a weak ending. And Navarez or whatever, that New Babylon person, was just bit by the walkers. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty weak. It's like Game of Thrones when Cersei and Jaime died by the blocks and the bricks and the whatever. You're like, that should have been a better ending, a worse, more brutal death for those characters. But it is what it is, and we move on from it. And yeah. So yeah, that's what else are we watching? Nothing really. I mean, I watched a little bit of UFC 316. So yeah, she should. That's a good question, Tim. Dama burned don't mean she should be a walker. Don't mean she shouldn't be a walker. Well, yeah, because we've had them where we had the charred walkers before. But the way the walkers are is you died and then you reanimate as a walker. So if she was burned alive, she should come back as a walker because everybody's infected. But I'm not trying to figure stuff out in the Walking Dead universe anymore. It's like, what are we talking about here, guys? I don't know. We have burners and we have walkers that are climbing stuff, but on Dead City, they don't. They're not evolving like we thought we were going to get evolved walkers. They're just in overgrown grass in Central Park. And yeah, like I said, it's something to watch, and it is what it is, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I haven't seen Dark Winds. I watched the first episode of season 3, and I was like, yeah, this is getting really weird, and haven't watched it anymore. Kind of gave up on it. And there's got to be something to drive me. I actually gave up on Game of Thrones originally, too, because when you watch Game of Thrones, you watch it, you see the Starks, and you see the Lannisters, and you see this, and the Baratheons, and you see all these families, and you see the betrayal, and you like, you know, the different characters, and then the ones you like get killed off. And then season 2 starts, and it starts with a couple of different characters, and you're like, who are these people now? I can't keep up with this. It's like work to pay attention to these people and these families and this lineage and these land and everything. And I thought there was dragons, and there's no dragons. So I was like, yep, I'm done. I'm not watching any more of this. And then somebody was like, yeah, it actually gets better. You should keep watching it. And then I'm glad I did. And then I was disappointed because the way it ended. It was good until it wasn't, you know. And it's just, like I said, it's tough because The Walking Dead was so good, and you want to pay attention, and you want to catch things, and you want to, you know, there's the breadcrumbs, and the foreshadowing, and the build-up, and then hopefully a payoff. And The Walking Dead has had a problem with that. We've always had the build-up in The Walking Dead universe, and some things, the payoff were better than others. But ultimately, that's the way they write stuff, and the way they portray it is build it up, and it falls flat. On to the next thing. Build it up, falls flat. And then build it up again, and see where it goes, and draw you in. Because the way they kind of get you is they build something up, and you're interested in it. And then the payoff was that. And you're like, what? Really? But now you're invested. And then they tease you again. And you're like, oh, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll be this. Maybe it'll be rewarding. And then, like, imagine if your favorite character was Glenn, or maybe favorite character was Abraham. And I liked both of those characters, and I liked both of those actors. And then you didn't know what was coming for the Negan lineup. And you watch it, and you're like, that's terrible. I'm done with this show. Like, I can't remember if I've ever watched a show that I've liked a character and they killed the character off and I gave up on the show because they killed the character off. People do all the time. But I don't know. It's something that, and it's a show, and it's escapism, and it's movies, and it's a different universe, and it's stuff that because that's ultimately why books and shows and everything is great, because you escape your reality. It draws you into this world that you almost wish you were a part of, right? Like, I was thinking about it too when I was writing my book, and I was doing this, and I was like actually cleaning stuff in the backyard and working stuff yesterday, and there was like spiders and stuff that I was trying, spider webs and everything. And I'm like, in The Walking Dead, we really didn't see much of that. I mean, we did see the spider come out of the walker's mouth, and we saw this, but you didn't see a lot of spider webs and a lot of stuff, except like when they put it inside certain buildings and stuff. But mosquitoes, bugs, rats, animals, like they had bad CGI deers. They have a bear now, and clearly in Dead City coming up in this episode. They had alligator in Fear the Walking Dead. They had certain things. And you're like, but there'd be way more of that too. And people would die from the common cold, and would happen more so than anything than people. Like there was the flu outbreak at the prison and stuff. So they did cover certain things, and I don't know. They just did a good job overall, but we just wanted always. I feel like people always wanted more and more and more and more and more and more. More story, more this, more that, more everything. We were so ingrained in it. We cared about these people. We wanted to see this universe. Where is this going? Who are these people? What is this now? What problems come? What's going to happen here? And that's just the mark of a great story and a great thing too, you know. And so, I don't know. The other thing my wife and I kind of got into recently is Pop Culture Jeopardy on Amazon. And I don't know if I talked about it last live stream or not, but it's pretty good. Like, I like it. Colin Jost is a funny host, and he's pretty good. And they do 3 teams of 3. So there's 9 people, and there's the same Jeopardy format is, you know, Jeopardy, and then Double Jeopardy, and then Final Jeopardy. And they have the questions, and they have, double, whatever, and then the triple play, and you have to get the thing. It's different. It's kind of cool. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you like pop culture and you have Amazon, because I believe it's just on Amazon. It's definitely worth your time to watch something different like that too. And I think trivia is always fun. I was thinking about it too. Like, all they need on a radio station or a YouTube station or anything like that too is just trivia. Like, people would be in there for trivia. And you would listen too, like, trivia. Question, give you some time. Answer. Next, topic. Question, answer. Like, I think people would definitely, because it was always fun to go to, growing up or actually going to college with my friends in Drexel in Pennsylvania. They had Barroom Quizzo, which was a quiz trivia thing every Thursday night. And we would go and we would do it, and sometimes we would know, and sometimes we would do pretty well. And it was fun to play, and it was something to pass the time. But everyone likes trivia. Everyone likes learning. Everyone likes trying something, and it would be good to see. And pop culture is nice, topic that a lot of people. Some things I would never understand. I would never get, because I don't know some of these people, artists now. Especially if they show a picture of somebody, I'm like, I don't know who that is. So I got no shot. And it's interesting. So definitely check it out on Amazon. So we're watching the Osbournes. I didn't know there was 4 seasons of that show, by the way. We're on season 2. And yeah, that's really kind of all we're watching. We're not really watched the Belmont horse race yesterday. It's June 8th as we have this live stream. So before you know it, it's the summer for a lot of places, a lot of schools, colleges, and everything are pretty much done. Any trips or vacations for you guys? You guys doing anything? Because I think now's the time. I always like to ask my patients that too, because it's always fun to hear, different stuff and everything. And I always ask people what they're watching, and so many people were watching The Last of Us. And it was amazing because the people that were watching it had no idea that it was a video game. Like, they were just watching it. And they had no idea what was going to happen. And when Joel dies in the second episode, it's like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Because it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. And I feel like that should have been the way the second game ended. And then setting up a third game. And it would have been setting up a third season here. And it just would have been different. You could have got to this point where they were going to be. Just reworded it, retweaked it, redid whatever. And so, I'm excited for season 3. I want to see what they're going to do too. And, there's been a lot of talk. That's going to be the next thing people are going to be putting around. Oh, they're making The Last of Us Part 3, and they're making The Last of Us this and The Last of Us that, and there's going to be 10 seasons of The Last of Us, and people are going to be saying a lot of crazy stuff. And there's just no way to know what they're going to do, but I know they're going to be a season 3 is greenlit, because they're going to have Abby's story and to see what's going to go there. And I think people will watch it. But the people that were pissed with the video game will probably still watch it, because it's a big, huge following. And I think, but a lot of people, the ratings for season 2 versus season 1 of The Last of Us were not good. Season 1 had a lot of great ratings. I think all the episodes were high 8s or in the 9s. And in season 2, there were 7 episodes, and I think there's majority of them are 7s or 6s, really bad ratings. Because it's not nearly as good as the first season. But the first season is the normal kind of storytelling with the good guys, bad guys, zombies, this, that, and then the second game and the second season is it sets all these things in motion, and especially where the first game ended. So I don't know. I feel like you could have had a third game, and you could have stretched it out more the way it was. But it's worth watching for sure. Negan One says, no vacation till November. Going to be a long, hot summer in Arizona. I'm sure it's going to be a long, hot summer everywhere. But I know when I think of Arizona, I think that it gets like super hot. It's a dry heat, but it's still like 116 degrees. And stuff is melting. Like the streets are melting and signs are melting. And stuff just melts because it's so hot. Hopefully you're going to get some rain, cool some stuff down, fill up the lakes, fill up the reserves, fill up everything there with a lot of rain. But they're saying about it being, is that still true there, Negan One, about the drought stuff in the area? Tim says, watched Fubar with Arnold, season 1. If compared, don't hold a candle to Tulsa. Well, it's different. I mean, Tulsa King is a mafia story stuff there too. Fubar is like a government agency stuff where they have to stop terrorist stuff. But Fubar came out first, actually. So Fubar season 2, does that come out next week? I want to say it comes out very soon because I follow Arnold on Instagram, and I feel like it's coming out very soon, which is good. But we're going to have, because if we have Fubar season 2 coming out, we have different shows, different movies coming out, this summer. We have Peacemaker in August. We have Gen V coming out in September, I want to say. I can't remember when it was. Stranger Things is until the end of the year, but you got to just make it to September for football season because that really trumps for a lot of people, especially it trumps. So September, Labor Day, is the start of football. And so June, July, and August is what are we going to watch till then? What are you going to do till then? And I don't have any vacation besides 4th of July, which is a Friday this year, which is awesome. Labor Day, which is always a Monday. So I have no days off in June, no days off in August. We'll have to see what happens with hurricane season. Got to stay safe and be prepared. So I'm trying to do stuff around the house and possibly get some stuff worked on before hurricane season. But yeah. Megan One says 108 today, already came in from the garage, too warm. That's too much. That's way too hot. I mean, I know it's hot in Florida and it's humid, so it's different. But how can you do anything, right? How can you mow the lawn? I mean, do you even have a lawn to mow? Right? Probably not. You probably have, well, not you, Negan One, but why would you have grass? You would have the desert landscape or rocks and this and that and low maintenance stuff. It seems like those states should have the artificial turf. So it looks like grass, but you can't do any of that. And it doesn't rain, it does, but probably not nearly enough. So, yeah. He says, still in a drought, but they are predicting a lot of rain this summer, so that should help keep things under 110. 110 degrees. And I don't care if it's a dry heat or not. 110 is ridiculous. I know I've been in New Jersey when it's been 100 degrees with 100% humidity, and it was just terrible. You got to stay hydrated. You got to stay in the shade. You can get heat stroke. You can't. You don't want to mess with that stuff. You don't want to mess with any of that stuff at all. The heat, the extreme heat and the extreme cold. Both things are terrible. Even though the extreme heat is, in my opinion, far worse because once your body's trying to cool down, it's really hard. You can warm up better than you can cool down, in my opinion, too. So, but stay safe, man, wherever you're at. Arizona, Ohio, Maine, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, got to stay safe. Just keep it going and growing, man. Just keep working on things. Keep being a better person than you are today. Each day work on something in some aspect. Try to get goals done. Just stay motivated. Stay hungry. It's never too late to start something. And I try to tell my patients that too. When they come to see me, it's because there's a problem, right? They're not coming to see me because everything is good. There's a problem with some sort of part of their body or their balance or their vestibular system, if they're dizzy or there's something, And so when we're seeing patients, we have to figure out what's going on. And a lot of time it's deconditioning. You got to stay in shape. And you can get out of shape very quickly. If you don't use it, you lose it. And remember, that's mind, body, and soul, not just your muscles, but everything. But keep working on things each day. A little bit goes a long way. It's like interest in a bank. It's not much at first, but it adds up quickly. The more and more effort and more savings or whatever you put into it, the better you can be. You know, I've been playing the stock market now for over 5 years, and I've had some success. I've had some not success, failure, not every failure, but lessons learned, what to do, what not to do. And so I like the idea of working hard and having the hard work pay off. And I feel like it has. And I feel like you can do the same thing. And I'm not doing anything differently than you can do too. So stay safe, but keep working hard. Try to work on something to get better at something, whether it's exercise, endurance, writing, singing, dancing, drawing, communicating. There's a lot of different avenues for that, you know, and it doesn't happen overnight. The good things don't happen overnight. Like my book series, I'm excited to share with you guys, and I'm excited to have Fight for Us 2 come out because the story continues, and I've learned from it. The first book, I was super excited for it, and I still am excited for my series. And so it gives me that drive and that hunger to keep it going. And it's because of you guys. It's because of the fans that want the book series, that enjoy it. I mean, I don't know how much I would continue to do it if people didn't care about it. I probably would still do it just because it's a good outlet. It's a very good cathartic outlet. And that's what you have to find. Whether it's a show or a movie or a book or something that's your own, whether it's painting or listening to music or drawing or whatever, like going for a walk. Remember, think about it as mind, body, and soul. What can you do for yourself and all those things? And your body and your soul and everything is yours. Take care of it. Cherish it. Feed it. You know, just, like I said, take care of it. That's all I can think of. It's just make sure you kind of have the right priorities of stuff. And it's not all this crap on social media. It's not all this crap there. Some of it's there because you can reach people and whatever, but it turns into a rat race, and a lot of it's fake. And it's nonsense with filters and everything on there too. And so, but it's a rat race. The life is definitely a rat race. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm excited for a lot of stuff later this year. I have just some stuff to look forward to. My dad's got some health stuff coming up, so hopefully he'll be okay. He's got cataracts coming up. He's got cataract surgery on one of his eyes in about a week or so. And he's going to have knee replacement surgery in July. And then he want to get the other eye done for his other cataract, and then he should be doing good. By the end of this year, he should be able to see and walk and zip around and be like a new man at the end of the year at 76 years old. And that's great, you know? Improve your function, improve your abilities. You know, and remember, shows and movies are just entertainment. They're a part of our life, but it's not everything. Right? Like, it is great to stop and watch a show and be a part of it and something to look forward to. And I definitely love that. I love something to look forward to, whether it's a show or a movie or a, you know, activity or a vacation or something. We have to have things that be like, all right, if I can make it through today, make it through tomorrow, make it through this week, this month, whatever, then it's great to see your friends, your family. You know, the little things like that go a long way. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, guys. Don't wait to reach out to your friends, to your loved ones, to your family members, because you may miss out on it. You know, we don't know when someone's time's up. We don't know when our time's up. So have fun today. Reach out. Don't put things off that are meaningful to you. Like, if you're on your deathbed and you're going to say, I wish I did this. I wish I said this. I wish I called this. I wish I told my friends this. And maybe that's when you do it because you're on your way out and there'll be no consequences for it. But, I mean, hopefully it's good stuff that, you know, I just want to tell you that I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to be here and listen to me talk about nonsense. No, just everything, The Walking Dead and Last of Us and different shows, different movies. But definitely check out The Accountant 2 on Amazon Prime if you haven't seen that yet. It's definitely worth watching. Enjoy Dead City Season 2, Episode 6 tonight if you haven't seen it yet. Like, I'll probably watch it this week. And Game 2 of the NBA Finals, Thunder versus Pacers. Pacers won Game 1, which is kind of crazy. They're continuing on with Halliburton's, last, say, minute, but seconds left to hit the big shots to win the game, basically. So, all right, guys, I'll be back next Sunday, so June 15th, to talk about The Walking Dead, Dead City, any other shows, movies, news that we were talking about. Appreciate you guys taking the time to be here for me. I'll be back next Sunday. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. You can achieve it no matter what it is. I'll be back next Sunday, guys. Have a good time. Stay safe. And I'll